If life gives you lots of lemons, you might be wondering what you could do with them other than lemonade. In this video, I'm excited to share with you some fresh recipes that feature lemons in both sweet and savory recipes. The first recipe I want to share with you is my sourdough lemon bars. And I always love a good recipe that uses sourdough because I have a sourdough starter all the time and it's really easy for me to activate it and add it to recipes. And I always think that adding sourdough to a recipe also makes the recipe taste a little bit more complex and a little bit more interesting. And that's why I love so much when I can use sourdough. To next, I'm adding some sugar for, this is the shortbread crust that we're making, and some melted butter that goes into it. And I have my homemade vanilla extract that I'm adding. And as you can tell, I'm not really measuring. I'm just going a little bit by feel here. Salt always brings out the sweet taste in sweet recipes. And now, of course, we need the flour. Obviously, if you weigh the flour, you get much more accurate measurements. But for this recipe, I thought it would be okay to use cup measurements, which is probably pretty close and what most of you are using. I love adding a little bit of cornstarch to the shortbread crust because it makes it a little bit more crumbly and a little bit more flaky. So that's why I love to add that. Now we need that to get that into a nice consistency so that we can go ahead and bake it. This is just one little dough ball here. You don't want to over mix it. You want to be careful with it. And I'm using an 8x8 glass pan that I'm lining with parchment paper that doesn't really want to stay in there. So I need the weight of the dough ball to actually keep the parchment paper down. Now the next thing is we need to press it firmly into the glass pan. And again, you want to be using some pressure, but not too much. And in order to prevent that from bubbling up, I'm poking the dough with a fork and I'll bake it for about 25 to 30 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to make the lemon filling, and I always like to roll and press my lemons to get a little bit more juice out of them. And yes, this is a little bit tedious, but we have so many lemons and I absolutely love these. These are Meyer lemons. And then for the base, I'm also adding a little bit of sour starter. Again, it makes the taste a little bit more interesting. It keeps the filling together and just adds a little bit of color. I'm not sure why I can't open this. Now we need some, I don't know, what is this? Sugar. And depending on the lemons that you use, you want to go a little bit lighter or a little bit more on the sugar. I do need to measure the lemon juice here for the filling. And with those little lemons, I never really get quite enough. So I always need to press a little bit more lemons. Adding that to the sugar and sourdough starter, giving that a little bit of a mix because we want to add all the ingredients here and mix that up. That's going to be really yummy. Then to actually add a little bit more zest to it, I'm adding lemon zest, and lemon zest is actually really healthy. It has a lot of vitamin C in it and other good nutrients. It's almost too bad that people throw it out because it's very edible and very healthy for you and adds a really nice lemon taste to the lemon filling. We obviously need the eggs to give the lemon filling a little bit more body and to actually make it stick and get firm. I love using those pasture-raised eggs. Of course, the eggs are not pasture-raised. It's the hens that are living out on a pasture, but their yolks are just so dark orange versus the pale yellow that I often see, and that really makes all the difference for the color of the filling. I also like to add a little bit of sour cream for creaminess. It gives it a lighter color and just a little bit more interesting taste. Again, here's my salt. Brings out the sweetness in all the sweet recipes. And now we're ready to pour that over the baked crust. You want the crust to be golden brown. And don't be alarmed if your filling is really runny. It's going to come together. Trust me on that one. So just pour it over. It looks like it's never going to be solid and it's always going to be really runny. But trust me on that one. You want to bake it just until it doesn't jiggle anymore. It is a little bit of a challenge to get it in the oven because it is so runny and you got to be really careful putting your glass pan in there. But we're going to bake it for I don't know, but maybe half an hour. And you just want to make sure that it just doesn't jiggle anymore. So this is just about done. You don't want to over bake it. And here are these absolutely yummy sourdough lemon bars. For my next recipe, it's a lemon mousse. It's actually an adaptation of a German recipe, a Zitronenspeise or Zitronenmousse, whatever you want to call it. And as you can tell, many more lemons. I also like lemon zest, and I like to zest some longer strips because I'm going to need them for decoration of this dessert afterwards. And I'm going to do that first with a zester. And again, back to squeezing my lemons. It's a bit of a workout. There are electric lemon juicers, but I just don't really believe in having extra appliances in my already pretty small kitchen and cluttering up space. I also like the lemon zest in the dessert, and that is a little bit different from the strips that we zested, and this is just like really small stuff. And here you can see on the other side that it's almost a little bit pulpy and not so much individual strips of zest. We need sugar, again adjusted to the sourness of your lemons, and now we're going to heat it up. And I'm going to keep back some because we need to add cornstarch. The original German recipe uses gelatin. I wanted to convert this recipe for you guys because I know that gelatin can be a little bit harder to find and a little bit more tricky to use. So that's why I thought it would be easier if we used cornstarch. Once the lemon juice is hot, I'm adding the cornstarch slurry. And now we're just going to simmer it until it thickens, and it might be a little bit thicker than you think is necessary. To give this whole recipe a little bit more lightness and a little bit more tartness, I'm adding Greek yogurt, but you want to actually let the lemon juice cool down before you add the Greek yogurt, and then you want to mix it in, and then we want to let it cool down all the way. But in the meantime, I will whip my cream. And yes, of course, I can buy whipped cream in the store, but that's something I don't like to do. I am never really sure what's in it, and also I get to buy exactly the kind of cream that I like. Here's one that's been minimally processed. I made a recent video about raw milk. This is not raw, but it's minimally processed, and then I can absolutely get the best quality cream that I can find. And I also have this little tub here that is from Germany, which is specifically for whipping cream. It's very tall and skinny, and it's just absolutely perfect. You want to whip the cream into very, very stiff consistency because we want to add this to the lemon base now. And the trick is to just fold it in rather than mix it because we want to keep the airiness, and that makes it so melt in your mouth. So we want to go really careful and just fold it more than stirring or mixing until everything is nicely uniform and come together, and you can't really tell the difference between the whipped cream and the dessert. Now I have these little glass cups here, and you can always go a little bit more fancy than I am doing it here, but I'm going to fill that in there. And it makes about 4 servings. And to decorate it, here are those strips of lemon zest that go on the top. And you don't have to do this, but I think it just makes it look a little bit more festive, and it's also a nice taste on top of it. My next recipe is a lemon pasta, and again, it's a really good way to use up extra lemons. And for some reason, my hand is covering up the garlic that I am chopping here while the butter is melting in my saucepan. And now I'm going to saute the garlic just until soft and translucent. My butter hasn't really melted, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter so much because I don't really want to cook the garlic all that much. Give that a good stir. And now I'm adding my lemon juice. And again, if you want a little bit more lemon juice, you can always do that. And to give this a little bit more of an interesting taste, I like to add some white wine. This is a Pinot Grigio from Italy. It's very inexpensive and perfect for these kind of recipes because you don't want to use an oaky Chardonnay that stands out with the oaky taste. I also love to grate my own Parmesan. I know that they add wood pulp, or they call it cellulose, to shred it. Parmesan, grated Parmesan. That's why I like to shred my own, and I don't mind doing this extra little work. Once I'm going to have that water boiling, I will cook my pasta. These are little fettuccine or linguine nests that I got from hungry roots. And because asparagus goes really well with lemon, I am cooking the asparagus right in the pasta water, which is super efficient and saves on extra dishes. The parmesan goes into my lemon sauce here, and I just want to melt it a little bit and stir it in. And the asparagus is really skinny, so that's why I am removing it. Plus, I wanted to have a little bit of bite and not be super mushy. The pasta needs to cook a little bit longer, so just check your package when you do that. And now this feels really weird. I'm adding the lemon sauce to the pasta. If you make this dish, I actually recommend that you prepare the pasta a little bit ahead of time because it will soak up the lemon sauce. And first it's going to just sit there. But actually it's better when it soaks up. A little bit of dried basil and ground pepper. And now we're ready to dish it up. You can see that I fried up some scallops that we had, but this would be really good with shrimp or chicken or even some pork chops. And this is a really festive dinner, but you can also make it a really simple weeknight dinner with just some chicken strips that you can fry up in a cast iron skillet. It's an extremely delightful dish, especially with the asparagus. And oh my gosh, so yummy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.